Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories, where I go over them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today, gonna go over a story titled, My Girlfriend, a 25-year-old female of 2 years, doesn't know I speak her native tongue. And guys, this story is about a guy who catches his girlfriend in her little act, if you will, or prepping her act, by unbeknownst to her speaking her language. You're going to see he's all set to propose to this girlfriend of his who's German, and he's been secretly learning German, taking German lessons behind the scenes without her knowing about it. And then when a situation arises where she's speaking in German to another guy she's cheating with, he knows what she's saying and ends up busting her. And it's quite an interesting story about how that goes down. But you're going to see, guys, in this story, this guy is your classic nice guy who puts his girl on the pedestal, makes her out to be like the greatest thing in the world, the greatest thing since sliced bread, and learns the hard way what happens when, obviously, you turn a blind eye, you put her on the pedestal, and when you're way into more the relationship than she is, bad things happen. But fortunately, in the end, our guy ends up on top. But he definitely goes through a lot of hurting to get to that point. And again, it shows you, as I said with the lessons, got to pay attention to red flags, and you cannot make her out to be your sole reason for living, which this guy clearly makes a mistake of doing so. Starts off, says here, I've been in absolute shock the past few days. I have no idea what to think or do. My girlfriend, we'll call her Grace, is German and I'm American. We've been dating for 2 years and everything about her is absolutely perfect. Smack! You can see already, right there. First couple sentences up on the pedestal. Nobody's perfect, dude. She is incredibly intelligent and so beautiful. We have so much in common. Our relationship has felt so unreal. Well, you're going to see the relationship you thought you had is in fact unreal. It's a bunch of bullshit. I knew like a year ago that this was the girl I want to spend the rest of my life with. So I decided to begin learning German and plan to propose in German. I've been studying it for over 6 months, and I'm pretty decent at this point and can understand most things. So, you're going to see here that this guy's learned it pretty darn well in 6 months. I'm willing to bet you he's probably doing something like the Rosetta Stone or something, and he just naturally is good at languages. Some people are that good they can pick it up like that. Or they speak other languages and can see similarities, and that's helped them. Because a lot of people in the comments had issue with him picking up German so well in 6 months. It says here, well, here's where the issue begins. My family, Grace and I, were at a resort in a tropical place for vacation before we go back to school and work and stuff. It was great at first. We had so much sex, spent so much time chilling, talking, and having fun. I wanted to be by her side day and night. Smack! Again, you can see this guy is way more into the relationship than she is. And it's never a good place to be. It always ends badly for the guy. 2 days ago, here we go with the sirens. 2 days ago, we were all hanging out and having dinner at those huge buffets that they have at the resorts. It was a lot of fun, and there were conversations going from all sides. My family likes Grace a lot and knows that I'm going to propose. At this point, I know German well enough to know the gist of conversations in German. A little while after we began eating, a man that I've never seen before comes up to my girlfriend and says something in German. I've been replaying that moment in my head every second for the past 2 days, so I know exactly how it went. This is the translation. So the guy walks up to her at the dinner table and says, "Is this the guy?" He laughs and says, "Am I going to see you tonight?" And she laughs and says, "Perhaps, if you behave." They're sitting there having a good old time, and they had this conversation, not knowing this guy has learned enough German to know what they're talking about. Nerve of her, huh? Then he left. I immediately felt completely dissociated from reality, and so much emotion ran through me. I have no recollection of what happened immediately after this. I have no idea if she explained who the guy was or just let it go. I don't know what my family was talking about. I was just sitting there. Yeah, this whole thing went down, and he's in pure shock because he thought he was in the most amazing relationship that he says is so amazing it was unreal. And put her on the pedestal, she's so amazing and intelligent and beautiful, blah, blah, blah. And lo and behold, some dude walks up to her about talking about hooking up that night. I think 5 minutes or so passed by since he left. I was actually acting pretty normal and excused myself to the bathroom. I washed my face but still felt no emotion. I went back, and the whole night went normally. The next day, I was acting completely normal as well. How the hell can you act normal after that? I mean, come on here. I think this guy's just so shocked that he just can't believe it. It was only this morning that I broke down into tears in the shower. I mean, maybe I should ask her about everything first, but there's only one explanation right. Their entire interaction felt super flirty. I had never been the type of guy to be insecure or overprotective in a relationship. So I really do believe that my mind was not lying about the flirty vibes I got. Flirty? That's a lot more than flirty. They're planning a get-together that night. If she did F this stranger, then it must have been while I was asleep or something, because we were together the entire time I was awake. I felt like throwing up. I'm writing this in the lobby of our resort, and she is sitting a few feet away from me. I've been acting normal and haven't brought anything up. We even had SCX yesterday. How could you sleep with her after that? I clearly have not been handling all these emotions properly. I recognize that. But I really just want to jump off a cliff. There's a nice steep cliff not too far from our resort's beach. I would have done it at that point if some of my younger family members weren't with me on this trip. Dude, ending it all over someone, I don't care who it is the wrong way to go. Your life is short. You get one shot in this world. You really want to go to the great beyond and speak to God or whoever and explain why you ended your life over some shitty person? I get you're hurting, but no, you can't do that. Get help. Talk to people that care and get rid of this broad. But don't worry, he will. I've been wanting to bring this up, but I just can't. Every time I see her, my mind goes robotic. Maybe she's not even cheating. Maybe there's a solid explanation. Smack. There's no explanation, dude. Maybe she just explained it right in the exchange, but I just wasn't listening. As much as I love this girl, I wouldn't stay with her under any circumstances if I found out she cheated. Good. Good to hear that. Maybe I'll revenge cheat on her. That might feel good. I don't know what to do. I can't seem to talk to her about this. Please help me. Am I crazy? Am I overthinking things? So that's the end of part 1. We'll go into part 2 in a moment. No, you're not overthinking things. No, you're not crazy. And thank God you took those German lessons and you have a knack for picking up languages. You need to end it with her. You need to end it right then and there. Tell your family what happened. Get on a plane, go home, and leave her ass there. That's what you need to do. It's over. But you can see you're with someone that long and you're in love with them. It's a whole whirlwind. Now for the update. It says here, a lot of people thought this story was fake. One of the common themes was that I learned the language too quickly. It is very possible to reach past A1 level in a language, being able to have a basic conversation, at about 3 months. Also, I'm fluent in another language other than English that has a lot of similarities with German. The combination of the two made learning it much simpler, and I'm going to continue improving in the language as it becomes a hobby at this point. Well, at the least, you got to learn German, or in the process of mastering it from this broad. But yeah, this comes to people very naturally. I've known people like that, and his knowledge of another language has helped him as well. He says, anyway, my life has taken a complete 180. I was planning on never going on this account again, but I'm feeling better about everything, and I hate when other people don't update. So, she did cheat, unfortunately. Well, we all saw that a mile away. I struggled with mental health for a large part of my life. I had tendencies to want to off myself ever since my first memory started from the age of 5 years old. My anxiety and depression continued to get worse, but I never told anyone, and I know I hid it very well. This was a mistake. Eventually, I think I suppressed a lot of these memories, and these feelings started becoming more sparse. My mental health has been good for a while before this happened. So this guy's a lifetime of depression and thoughts about ending himself. This guy needs help, and the fact that he's kept this bottled up so long is really unfortunate. We were still at the resort at this point. I should have waited until we were back home, probably, but I couldn't wait. We had 2 days left at the resort before coming home. As some users have mentioned, I asked about her situation in English, and if she lied, I plan on speaking to her in German. I just asked her who was that guy, but she didn't lie. After about 10 seconds of stuttering, she burst into tears and left. Of course she burst into tears. What else is there for her to do? I felt like I was a spectator looking into my life, and I had no control over my actions. I felt like I had so many emotions and no emotions going on at the same time. About half an hour later, she texted me a very long message about every detail, everything that happened, and she apologized and I never answered. She doesn't have the decency to go up to him in person and tell him what happened. She texts him that. That shows how much of a coward she is. The short version of what happened, basically she went for a nighttime walk one night when I was asleep, and early one night, it says here, while I was asleep early one night, and we both often do this, I believe, she ended up coming across some show thing they had going on in the resort and met some random people who were all drinking. They all happened to be German. She decided to drink with them to have some fun and ended up going back to the guy's room. She ended up really connecting with the guy aside from just SCX. Of course, that's what she said. He was a German chatter Tyrone. What's a German chatter Tyrone? You know, Wolfgang and Johann. So Wolfgang or Johann here gave her all the sweet nothings, said what he had to say to her to rope her in, so it was more than just the SCX to her, and that's what happened. They exchanged phone numbers and were texting often when we were there. She felt horrible, but she was confused. That was the gist. Confused. How many times have you guys heard that in breakups? I'm so confused. I'm trying to think objectively here, and if she really likes this guy, as much as it hurts me. I always stress that people should do what they want and focus on their happiness first. Smack! Are you actually justifying that people should do what makes them happy, even if it means hurting you? More of this nice guy shit. He was also really damn handsome. I was too emotional to admit that in the last post. But I was not able to keep a straight mind after she left initially. I never had a reason to be angry before in my life. I know I have a temper, but it usually takes a lot to get me irritated. The feelings I had and the thoughts I had were so horrible that I don't feel comfortable typing this out. Dude, you're allowed to be angry and furious on multiple fronts. That's allowed and healthy. It was so hard to keep it in, and I lost the ability to focus on reality. When I saw her the next time, she wanted to talk to me and apologize in person, but I felt like I didn't have the energy to say a word. I'd be like, nope. You told me everything I needed to hear. We're done. And go on a different fucking plane home. I avoid speaking to her for the remaining days. I was trying my best to avoid my family, but when I saw them, I think I must have been acting weird because they clearly knew something was off. So you can see he has a history of keeping everything bottled up. And while I absolutely admit you shouldn't be crying out your problems to your girlfriend, you do need to let things out to people that care, like family or someone you can trust. Don't go making your girlfriend or wife your therapist, but you keep things cool. If she knows if your wife or girlfriend knows you're stressed, I'm having issues, to say, hey, I had a tough day, but everything's gonna be okay. And you talk about your insecurities and worries to your bros or family members you can trust, but don't make your wife or girlfriend your therapist. I'm gonna mention that here. I say that often. I always get shit about that, but if you do, it's gonna be a problem. But this guy's been bottling stuff up his whole life, and this is what's happening here. He's got to tell his family. It was very awkward going back on the plane and not telling my family anything when I must have been so obvious something was off. I sat next to her on the plane. Oh my God, after all that, he sat next to her on the plane. The second he found out about this, he should have just left. Which was so weird. At least she respected the fact that I didn't want to talk. She continued trying to talk to me and text me when we landed here and there. But at that point, I never wanted to see her or hear from her again, so I blocked her from everything. Good job, man. You're making up for that. This nice guy put her on the pedestal crap you've been doing. When I came back, I was acting very impulsively that entire week. My semester was about to start, but I quickly canceled all my classes and decided to take the semester off. I booked a vacation to a place I always wanted to go to last minute. I bought a lot of random shit that I didn't need. I did some semi-hard drugs that I never imagined myself doing. Smack! I get you're hurting and people need time to let it out, but poisoning yourself with alcohol and worse yet drugs, wrong way to go. And if he was that messed up that he had to take a semester off, okay, he knows himself and need to get away, but you can't let yourself be destroyed. Don't let this shit destroy you. They win. He says, I also had SCX with multiple hookers. I got into fist fights with random guys at bars. I actually felt very good. I woke up every day feeling like I was on top of the mountain. So you're trying to prove you're a bad boy just like the guy that was nailing your girl? Is that what it is? Fist fights, bar fights, nailing hookers, drugs, alcohol. Really? You want to become like these scumbags or make yourself feel powerful? There's other ways to make yourself feel powerful and not go down that path. But I came to my senses over a week ago, and I came back from the resort. There was a stereotypical cliche movie moment, instant, when I was puking in the club bathroom and that heartbeat music sound. I started laughing and realizing how I was effing up my life. So I decided to see a therapist, who then referenced me to a psychiatrist. He says, I guess I'm crazy now. And I was diagnosed with BPD, with bipolar 2. I never heard of BPD before, but after reading into it, I felt like all the symptoms were things I've struggled with since I was young. I guess his trial really made the symptoms set off even worse. Well, if all this could lead him to seeing a therapist and a psychiatrist that could help him with a lot of issues he clearly has, that's the silver lining here, and it takes strength to admit you got a problem and seek help. So good for him there. He says, today I still have the semester off and I'm continuing treatment and will probably start medication soon. I still haven't spoken to Grace. She contacted my sister, but I didn't want to hear what she had to say. There's nothing to hear, nothing for her to say. You're done. End of story. And I hope your family at least knows what's going on at this point. I've been kind of avoiding my family and close friends, and I should stop doing that. I think I learned a lot about myself and definitely learned a lot that I'm not ready for a relationship. Bro, you are definitely not ready for a relationship. You have a lot to work on getting over her and all this, and then learning what caused you to be attracted to someone like this and the mistakes you made that didn't help you in the situation with someone like this. Because if you don't grow, you'll attract the same girl one day and the same shit will happen. You'll put her on the pedestal and be more into the relationship than her and kiss her butt. And guess what? Women don't like that. And you can end up in the same situation. This was a wake-up call to me. The anger and the sadness has mitigated, and I feel like myself again. I don't think anything else will happen, so I won't be on the account anymore. Thank you for all the advice. I apologize for not answering anyone else. I just really didn't want to talk about it anymore. But I read everything, and thanks for the PMs too. So that is the end of this. That is the end of this guy's story here. And if you guys want to check it out, you can obviously type in the title in Google, read a lot of the comments. But the comment section is full of guys supporting him, which is great, you know. They're sorry about what happened, but they said great for you for having the strength to go to the therapist and work on yourself and all that. That's all you can do. My recommendation for him or anybody else that gets badly burned like this is you figure out where you're going wrong. And most of the time it's because guys have that nice guy complex that they learned it watching movies and TV or observing their friends that don't know any better either, where they put the girl on the pedestal, they make her the center of the universe, and they're in this fantasy land that things are way better than they realize they are, and they make her out to be the end-all, be-all of their existence. And you can't do that, because when you do, women aren't going to respect you, and you get with the wrong one, and they're going to break your heart and rip it out and stomp it in a million pieces. But this guy's young, and he has plenty of time to learn and grow, and I think through the therapy, it will definitely help him work out a lot of issues and things like that. And then I'd recommend that he does tell his family and friends what happened. Don't avoid them if they care. Let them know what happened and that you can all work together. And then I would recommend that he spends time doing things that he enjoys, spending time with people that care, get back to school when he's ready, and get back on that horse, on that grind, and never talk to this bitch again. And in the future, be very careful with the gals he gets involved with, because otherwise he can make the same mistakes, and it's likely this will happen again. But I hope he learns. Alright guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below what you think about this. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.